everybody, Audrey here, the Fit, Fearless, and Faithful Mom. Thanks so much for coming back. If it's your first time joining me, welcome. Would love for you to tap that subscribe button, tap that notification bell so that you know when I am posting a video. I relate fitness to faith, little sprinkle of homeschool, and a whole lot of life chatter in there to help you, help me, help us to grow as saints together. Today, we're gonna be talking a little bit about this. So I am no stranger to a little Grand Marnier, a little tequila, and maybe some rum. I swear, I did not drink before doing this video. So what's the deal with drinking and Catholicism? Because the weather is warm, there's lots of barbecues happening, and who knows the rules about drinking? Are there any? Well, let's think about this for a second. If you go biblically, and you just think about Jesus for a second, you think surface level, Jesus turned water into wine. There are people who partook in drinking, whether good or bad, in the Bible, specifically in the Old Testament. If you go back to the Old Testament, there was a lot of problems. What does the Catechism say, though, about drinking? Well, first, if you open up your Catechism, and I'm gonna read it in 2290, it talks about temperance. The virtue of temperance disposes us to avoid every kind of excess. The abuse of food, alcohol, tobacco, and medicine. Those incur grave guilt who, by drunkenness or a love of speed, endanger their own and others' safety on the road, at sea, or in the air. So if we think about, it says food, drink, and others should not be done in excess. Everything that we have has been given to us as a gift. If you eat too much of anything, or even if you have too many milkshakes and you drink something like that, well, that's a little bit gluttonous, right? And that's kind of one of the seven deadly sins. When we think about being drunk, having too much to drink, if you have too much to drink, I'll venture to guess that majority of people at some point in their life have gotten a little tipsy, have made some mistakes, whether they have said anything or done anything. Because remember, it doesn't have to just be you doing something, it could be you saying something. When we drink, our emotions and our actions lead to our inhibitions being lowered. And this can lead into committing like a mortal or venial sin and the things that will separate us from God. So let's go biblically now. Throughout the Bible, it talks about drunkenness. It doesn't talk about just having a drink, just having alcohol. It specifically, several times, talks about being drunk. So let's read a little bit. I'm gonna read it to you in Galatians chapter 5, verses 19 through 21. It lists drunkenness amongst the works of the flesh. Now the works of the flesh are obvious: fornication, impurity, idolatry, sorcery, strife, jealousy, anger, quarrels, envy, drunkenness, carousing, and things like these. It's looped into all of those. I am warning you, as I warned you before, those who do such things will not inherit the kingdom of God. It's talking about drunkenness. Being drunk lowers your inhibitions. You may make a mistake. It separates us because it damages our body. It damages us emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and physically when drinking in excess. But we can also think of this as a gift. In fact, it is a gift when used in the right way. In Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 7, go eat your bread with enjoyment and drink your wine with a merry heart, for God has long ago approved what you do. We should enjoy what we have. But how do we do that? Here's an example. So Cody and I are not wine drinkers at all. But what we do enjoy is we were able, thank you, Mom and Dad, sent us to a French restaurant and they paid for our meal to enjoy the chef's table. And we had the same server and he did not have any other table, and so he was just with us, and he said, what would you like to drink? And we said, I don't know. I don't really know because we're not wine drinkers and I wasn't about to get tequila at a French restaurant. And so what we like doing is we like going to a restaurant and saying, give us your favorite drink, give us like your favorite wine that would go with the meal we have. And man, we have learned so much, whether it's with hard liquor or with just regular wine. And that's what happened the other night. We said, look, bring us what you think is necessary. Now, here's the thing. At this restaurant, you can get what's called the flight, and you pay a set price. It was like $75, and you get a glass of wine, and these glasses were not small. They're like big glasses. You can get a glass of wine with every course that you have, and there were 6 different courses. And so I looked at the guy and I was like, I don't think so, man. Like, I'll be drunk as a skunk, and that just does not sound like a good time to me. So he said, okay, that's fine. When he brought us out our first course, he went through these different wines that would pair well with our appetizer or would pair well with our salad even. And I was like, okay, I'm learning something new. Love learning something new. Then when it came time, we got foie gras, and it was delicious. And he said, I have just the thing that will really enhance the foie gras. And it was a Malbec, which I've learned more about. I'm pretty sure it was. But it was just this like little taste that came out with the foie. And he said, before he put the wine down in front of us, he said, okay, look, take a bite of the foie. Then you're gonna take a sip of this wine. And you're gonna sense up here a little bit of grapefruit, and as you swallow it and it goes to the back, it's gonna be like honey. And I was like, because I've heard people say that before, that certain wines and certain things, they have an effect on whatever you're eating, or what you're eating has an effect on the wine, and I never really got it. And it was the first time ever that I was able to sip something and really taste what's happening and how it changes based upon what you're eating. And it was fascinating. And then he was telling us where it comes from and how the wind shapes the wine and all this other like crazy stuff. So it was an educational experience the other night, and we had a great time doing it. And going along with this, a couple weeks ago, I was able to go back to New Jersey, where I'm from, and spend time with one of my best friends. So she was cutting up some cheese and cutting up like some salami or pepperoni, I forget what we had, and other little things, and we had some chips and dip, and we just had this, you know, little appetizer thing with a drink, and we were sharing it, and you know, no drunkenness, no nothing, and it was lovely. So going back to Temperance, could I have gotten really drunk on my date the other night? Yeah, I could have. It would have been easy to, because they offered the flight, and then I really would have been flying. And when I was sitting on the deck in New Jersey, I could have gotten really drunk. I had nowhere to be, and I had no kids to take care of, minus my sweet niece. But that would have been wrong too. So as far as the church teaching is concerned, drunkenness, not cool, no way, don't have it happen. Because it can lead to other like bad stuff, bad decisions. But if you're using it as camaraderie, if you're using it as something to enjoy and as a learning experience, then by all means go ahead. Enjoy what you have. Oh, and by the way, there are several monasteries who actually make their own beer, wine, and other spirits and hard liquors too, so they can support the monasteries. Like, how cool is that? They're not promoting drunkenness, but based upon different regions in the world, depends on what kind of liquor, what kind of wine you're going to have. So it's really cool that these monasteries have started these businesses for themselves. So don't be surprised if you go like through a store and you see a religious label on a bottle. So it's a gift. It should be used as such. Yeah. Hope you enjoy your barbecues this summer. Go have a drink. Enjoy in moderation. If I can pray for you in any way, please let me know. Tap that subscribe button, tap that little bell so that you get notifications of when I'm doing videos in the future. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, everybody. Bye.